Alright. Alright, y'all are just like, who, I'll take two people, maybe three if you pull my arm. Two people who want to, maybe if this is your first year or your first semester, like kind of a trio, and you want to kind of say hi and introduce yourself. Who would like to do that in front of everyone? Yes! Jose, stand on up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jose. I'm new to SU. This semester is my first semester here. And second day of trio.
Jose is already actively involved. She's been coming to trio every day. She's already here, so we're so happy that you joined us. And you were in trio over at the community college, right? Exactly, at Phoenix College. So she's a good resource to know about trio at other places. One more person who wants to introduce themselves. Yes, who are you? That does not surprise me. No, there's a secret name. Who are you? No. Stop acting like you're Everyone quietly just look at that face right there. Stand on up. Who are you?
Okay, hey guys, I'm Louis. I'm new. Well, no, it's my second semester, right?
Yeah.
I'm a freshman, and I'm a new student worker at Trio, so make sure you say hi to me, and if you want to fight me, come fight me too. Say hi to me.
Everyone say hi, Louis. Third person, twist my arm. I will also subside. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and introduce our student staff. So we have almost doubled this year the number of student staff that we have, and that speaks to two things. Number one, just the importance of student leadership and wanting to build more student leadership in our office. Plus, dotted line, we found a little bit more money that we can pay more students. And number two is because we want to provide more services for you all, and we can only do that with more of the leadership of our students. And so we have a lot of amazing things planned for you. So if I could have my student staff, all of staff, kind of stand on up. Stand on up, I'm calling you out. Now obviously not everyone here, it's about what? Not even half of you are here. So if you can just go around and kind of say your name, maybe what are you studying, and what's your role in trio? What are some of the things, not just like I'm a staff member, but like what are some of the things you're working on, some of the committees that maybe you're a part of, some things that you're working on in the near future, some things you tutor, maybe, things like that. Who wants to start? Yeah.
Okay, my name is Frida, I'm a freshman. What is it? Oh, my major. I'm undecided right now, and something I'm working on is the newsletter. So we're starting, well, they already had one, but we're kind of doing that again, newsletter.
It might be coming actually off the press in a couple minutes.
Yay.
Maybe. Who's next?
I guess I'll go. So my name is Erica. I'm a tutor and I'm a coach, and my major is kinesiology. So if you need help with basically the sciences and math and kinesiology classes, it'll help you. And then I'm a coach, so whether you're a freshman or not, you can come speak to me if you would like to. I'm always welcome for new people or more stuff to talk about. And I am also on the programming committee, so I'm currently working on things to do for Trio Day right now.
So what are some things you do? What are some things that you do with our staff?
So we're currently, as you said earlier, we are creating a newsletter for January and all 4 months until school's over. We're also trying to plan fun events for you guys to come to and be interactive with us. We're always here for you to come talk to. If you wanna laugh, cry, anything, eat lunch with us, we're welcoming with open arms.
What do you do?
Hi, my name is Palo. I work in the front desk, so most of the time I may not be there to help you out, checking out stuff. I work in research and development, making sure that all technology is up to date and making sure that you guys understand how to use computers and all that, as well as that. My major is public service and public policy. I have a minor in criminal justice, and I'm a junior.
How many years have you been involved in TRIO in some capacity in all TRIO programs?
This is my 8th.
Eighth year. Yeah. So Anna has more experience than all the staff combined. Alrighty, and you again. Who are you again?
I'm Louis, and I'm office assistant, and I'm part of the research and development research and development committee and the recognition committee. So make sure if you guys want to nominate somebody, like let me know so we can put pictures in the wall.
Yeah.
Please.
So, one of the things that Lewis works on is kind of finding ways to like recognize staff and students, birthdays, all these different things to kind of celebrate and create more community in our town. Hello. Who has an empty chair next to? There's one right here. Feel free to come on in, sit. Yeah, and there's one right there. Perfect. All right. We have currently a total of 4 tutors, and we are hiring 2 more, a minimum of 2 more, who are going to be focused on some hardcore math and sciences. So if you know anyone that, if you or anyone you know wants to tutor, especially math and science, please refer them to us. And we have 2 more Sally just came in, so I'm gonna put you all on the spot because we just did some self-introductions. So who are you? What are you studying? And then what are some of your roles? Not just like I'm a tutor, right? But what do you tutor? What do you coach? What are some things you're working on in our office?
Okay, I guess I'll start. I'm Matthew. I am a tutor. My major is family and human development, and currently right now I tutor practically any subject you can think of.
Yeah.
I can do science, I can do writing, I can do math, I can do social work, anything like that.
I'm Nina. I'm a social work major. I am an assistant and a coach. I also work with social media and outreach stuff.
So if you see posts, how many of you follow us on Facebook? Follow TRIO on Facebook. If you see a post, chances are it was Nina who posted it. So she's very active on there. How many of you have pinned us or follow us on Pinterest? Really? Yeah. Anyone else? Do you know we're on Pinterest? Yes. We're on Pinterest. Where else are we? We're on Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Instagram. Awesome. So make sure you follow us, like us, status us, pin us, all that stuff. Alrighty? Cool. Alright, so let's go over some TRIO. Yes, you have questions, yes.
About the computers that you need, what levels of math and science?
We're looking for, all levels, but we're noticing that some of our higher division, like microbiology, organic chemistry, biochemistry, we don't really have the tutor stuff, or calculus. Some of our students are taking those classes, so at least one person that can do that, and then someone that, so our tutors can handle most of the classes, but they don't have the time. Like, we're getting bombarded, which is a good thing. You all are wanting tutoring, and so we're not having enough hours. Like, they don't have enough hours to be able to provide the needs.
I haven't taken any of those yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but even if it's not higher, if you feel comfortable doing general chemistry, kind of like maybe a pre-cal class or general bio, yeah, that can help. Especially, and if you got an A in a class, even if it's another class, like let's say you took Italian and you took an intro class, and you feel comfortable, you can also tutor that. So the more subjects, like feel free to look at your what do you call it? Your transcripts, yeah, your transcript. And look at all the classes that you've taken, and you'd be surprised all the ones that you might be able to tutor. Yeah. Other questions? All right. So let's talk a little bit about Trio. And I know some of you have heard about Trio many times, and you could probably give this presentation. It's always to refresh. And we have a lot of new folks here as well. So we're going to kind of honor both. So, year 5 federally funded. What does that mean? For those who,
You're at your maximum to how much federal funding you get.
You need to reapply.
Yes. So we are actually, in the next week, basically, we are submitting our, and by we, it's not necessarily us, but Arizona State University has designated people that do this. We're submitting a what we call a renewal of our grant, which means that we're asking the government, hey, please renew our grant. We've done amazing things. Here's all the data for the past 5 years, and this is how we're gonna want to implement stuff the next 5 years. So we are in our last year of funding. We have to be very honest with you and letting you know that because it's the last year, if for whatever reason we're not refunded, right? That means that technically we don't have our grant anymore, right? So we would not have a program, and I don't know what that would mean in terms of the university. I don't know if the university would kind of allow us to continue. Maybe the university would provide some support, but it would mean that technically there wouldn't be a Trio downtown anymore. We're pretty confident that we will be renewed. The numbers show it in terms of your level of engagement. Every time you come in and sign in, that seems so minuscule, but that is literally one more signature that we send to the federal government to demonstrate that we're an active program. Okay? Every hour that you tutor, not only does it benefit you, but it also provides data to show that our services are being used. So sometimes we'll ask you, can you please fill out this survey or this eval or this tutor report? All those things help us to generate data that we show. Plus getting good grades. Hello. Getting good grades. Questions on being federally funded and what that means? Yes?
So say, not to be a Debbie Downer, but say downtown Trio wasn't here anymore next year, what would happen with all of the students that are enrolled?
And that's what I was saying. I don't quite know. It would be up to the university. Obviously, we don't know what would happen. Like we're not in control. That's us. This is our salary too, right? We get paid off of the grant. So we don't know what will happen. My guess, this is me, like Davi personally speaking, is that the university will provide, even if it's for a little bit more time, provide some support so that you aren't like bye. Right, so we'll probably have maybe another year or something that we'll try to find some money somewhere to cover some basic services for you all, right? But I wouldn't worry about this. I really wouldn't. The data is showing that we have a very strong renewal application, so I really wouldn't worry. A program has to do pretty bad in order to not be renewed. Like the numbers are not being met and all that stuff, or that whoever writes does a terrible job at writing the grant. But we're at ASU, so we have amazing talented people that do this. Those are our goals. Did you know that? What does persistence mean? Wants to take a stab at it? Yeah.
Continue from 1 year to the next. So we progress from freshman to sophomore.
Exactly. 82%, I think that's that, right? We have to demonstrate that every year 82% of our 150 students go from 1 year to the next. That they re-enroll and that they've passed 1 year. What does academic success mean? That's pretty.
Passing your class.
Huh?
That you're passing your class.
Exactly. Because you can move from one to the next, but if you're getting all E's, I mean, pretty soon you're not going to be moving one to the next. So that you are meeting a 2.0 or higher. That's all it means. For the purposes of passing, right, is that 85% of our students have a 2.0 or higher on any given year. What does graduation mean? It means yay.
Yes.
Finally.
Who wants to graduate?
Yes.
Beautiful. It means that you complete. And how many? Do you all know how many years per the grant? How many years we're given for you all to graduate before we're like, that's it, we can't serve you anymore? Said it. Yes, 6 years. So y'all, according to TRIO, please don't wait 6 unless you have to. If you have to, you have to. But from the moment you become a TRIO student to the moment that you wear your cap and gown and it posts on your transcripts, 6 years. Okay, so that's where we work very hard to get you. Plus, y'all don't want to pay any more than you have to, right? I mean, if you have some extra money, please share because there's some students that need some money. So, wait, questions on our goals?
No.
Who do we serve?
America.
We do, and within the U.S., who do we serve? What students?
Students with disabilities, low income, and first generation college students.
Okay. What does first generation mean?
It's the first one in your family or like of your siblings to go to college. So that means that your parents or guardian didn't go to a 4-year university
Okay.
or college.
So if my sister went to college before me, am I a first generation college student?
Yes.
How many of you say yes?
Only if your dad did.
How many of you say no? Nah, now y'all like, that was half the hands. Correct, yes. It means neither of your parents, so, and by parents it means biological or adoptive. It does not mean step-parents. Biological, neither of your biological or adoptive parents received a baccalaureate degree. So if they went to community college, or even if they did some work at the university, that still means you're a first generation. It's until one of those folks graduate with a baccalaureate degree or higher. Okay. And some folks, some of you all sometimes ask like, oh, which disabilities are eligible, which are not. We don't even know what disabilities our students hold. It's irrelevant for us in terms of we don't need to have that documentation. All we require is that someone is registered with the Disability Resource Center. So by them being registered, that office does the work for us, and all they say is, yes, this person is registered with us, and that confirms that you are eligible for treatment. In case you were wondering. Got it? Oh, how many of you know that we're applying for a second grant? Whoop, whoop. Okay, so for those who know, what type of grant are we applying for? What program is it? So this is, in case you don't know, this is a student support services program. What are we applying for? Huh?
Graduate?
Like graduate student, like master's? Nope. We actually don't have any programs for master's students.
The science. Science.
And yeah, so it's another student support services program, just like this one, okay? But it is specifically health. The way we're writing the grant is that it's a health professions grant. So anyone that's in a health profession major at downtown. So our nurses, how many of you are in nursing? Okay, how many of you are health sciences? How many of you are in the health professions? Right there, boom, almost half this, yeah. And the fact that we have 175 folks on our waiting list, over that much, actually, almost 200 now, demonstrates the need. So hopefully, we'll get our second grant. Questions on that? I'm trying to breeze through this. Services. Who can tell me what the printing service is? What do we offer? Yes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say copies, I was gonna say 500.
Yeah, 500, exactly. 500 copies you can scan, you can fax, you can print, and you can copy. In our office, it's not just printing. Who wants to learn about coffee and tea? Who uses that regularly, besides Ralph and Nina? working now. Every time I go in the office, anywhere in the lab, there they are, getting their fix. Who raised their hand? Yes, what do we offer?
Free coffee, tea.
Yeah, absolutely, at all times. And do you know who offers it? Like who's the engine behind that? True Devils. Yeah, True Devils kind of manages it. Sometimes we may buy a little creamer here and there, a little coffee here and there. But yeah, True Devils is overseeing that. So whenever you see someone from True Devils, thank them for that. Anyone want to ask about any of these things that you see? It's okay if you don't know. Yes.
Dragon, I don't know what dragon is.
Who knows what dragon is? Dragon naturally speaking. You kind of know what it is?
Yeah, it's like when you speak into like a speaker or like a program and then it writes for you.
Exactly. It's a dictation.
Yeah.
Accessibility software. Yep. So you speak into it and it types. Any other questions on things that are up here?
How about the Curse Wheel 3000?
Because of the is kind of the opposite for dragon. So dragon is a dictation, I speak, and then it types it for me. Kurzweil reads it to me. So I upload files, and then it reads it so I can hear it. And audiobooks.
What's the difference between tutoring and coaching?
Ah, amazing. Does anyone want to take a stab at it? What's the difference between coaching and tutoring as you understand it? Go for it, Dave. Give it a shot.
So tutoring is to help you with the classes that you're enrolled in and everything, and then coaching is basically for everything else. You can talk about, you meet up with your coach, and you can talk about anything with them, so they just kind of coach you in anything you want to talk about, not just for academics.
Exactly, exactly. So Blackboard, like if you need help with Blackboard or navigating my ISU, where do you go on this campus at the university? Right? If you're like, I really need help with time management, like I need someone that can teach me how to use Google Calendar, where do you go at the university for that? Right. So all these type of things are things that our coaches help you with. How to understand my plate if you want to eat healthier, how to get connected with getting involved, how to study abroad. Like our coaches will find the resources for you, and they will work with you to develop goals. And you're like, I really need to like manage my time better. They will show you some tools, and then you together will create some tools. That answer your question? Who asked it? I don't know who asked it.
No.
Yeah, I got it. I was like, I'm looking this direction.
Who is the advisor that goes back? The difference between advisor and
Ah,
coaching?
okay. So who are our advisors in Trio?
You two, 1, 2.
Yeah, that's us. That's the meetings with us. And so we kind of look much more macro level. Kind of your plan year to year. Are you passing your classes? Do you have your financial aid in line? What are your goals professionally, post-graduation? All that stuff. Yep. All right, bye.
And that's once a year.
So we do our advising 2 times a semester. You meet with us for a total of 4 times per year. 4 times per year. And we'll go over the requirements in a second. Other stuff that you want to talk about? I want to be sensitive to not cover everything, so I'm kind of want to breeze through, but if you don't understand something, that's what this purpose is. This is what you were asking about. So for first year students, how many of you are first year students? This is your first year at ASU, first time freshmen specifically. So you came in through True Connect or some other program like that, or it's your first year? Yep. So 8 coaching sessions for the first year. Hopefully you already did your 4 for the fall. I want to make sure you meet regularly with a coach, at least once a month. Then your professional development seminars, 4 per year. So you want to make sure you complete. Those are our workshops. That's what we call our workshops. For first and second year students, we say do 1 of each. So 1 academic, 1 professional, 1 financial, 1 experiential. And then for our upper division students, juniors and seniors, we say replace the academic one unless you really need some academic help, right, and support. Replace it with another professional one. So we do 2 professional, a financial, experiential. The financial is very important because that's one that the federal government looks at, like tracks, making sure that all our students are doing financial literacy. So make sure there's like anything you're gonna do, get that done first and send the documentation in to us. And then advising meetings, that's 2 per semester with us. We typically do 1 towards the beginning and 1 towards the middle, towards the end. To check in on you, when we don't see you, we miss you, and then we get worried. And then we pull up your files.
So is it like an official meeting or just like a,
It's a check-in, right? So it'll be like you set up an appointment with us, and it'll be a check-in, like we want to see how you're doing. Depending, like we hope that you bring things that you want to talk about with us, but then we'll also have key things that we'll talk to you about, depending on where you are in your time at ASU. So if you're a junior or senior, you better believe that every time we talk, we're going to talk about kind of next steps out of ASU. If you're a freshman, you better believe that I'm going to mention at some point, and so is Ralph, getting involved on campus, work, like are you working on campus, getting involved, leadership, service, grades, study skills, all those things. Can I answer your question?
Yeah.
Other questions on this?
what is it, experiential?
Great question. What's experiential workshop? What does that mean? Professional development. What do you think?
It's kind of like our cultural activities, so kind of either visiting a location, like I remember last semester, we went to the Irish Cultural Center, and then there's also plays throughout the semester or at Gannett or other places. So it's just kind of learning about something else that maybe not typical to ASU.
Exactly.
Specifically.
Exactly. And experiential comes from experience, right? So it's hands-on kind of experiencing things. So community service project. If you do like a 3-hour community service project, that can count as a workshop, kind of experiential workshop. Cultural activities. If you go to a conference, like a leadership conference, all that counts as experiential. Other questions? All right. On. So speaking of, let's actually go over the TRIO workshops and activities. So you all should have your calendar. Take a look at them. Who doesn't have one? Whoa. So here you go. That probably means you also didn't sign in at some point, so make sure before you leave you sign in. Pass them down. So take a second to read them. Who else needs one? Here. Here. Who else needs one? Lisa, right here. So I want to point out a few key things on these. Anyone have one?
Yes, thank you.
A few key things. So you're already doing this. The first one was a semester. Organize My Life workshop on organization, whether it's time, organizing a paper, organizing your space at home. Just like how do we kind of own our organization and what are some key strategies to become more organized. And that one's going to be in a panel format. Sometimes we have speakers. This is what we're going to do, kind of a panel, more conversational, a little more relaxed to be able to make it more engaging.
Is it going to be like students or professionals?
Both.
Both.
We got your back. I know y'all want to see people your age too. But we also have professionals that know.
Yeah.
Health and fitness, that's a Trio Devils workshop, right? So you're gonna be at the Sun Devil Fitness Center doing some cool interactive things, and that'll be focusing on health and fitness. College Goal FAFSA, we'll go over that later. Trio Connect reunion. So how many of you were part of Trio Connect 2014? 2014. So
No.
this summer that just passed. You can go ahead and say it to it.
Yeah, can I?
One of the things that was in our suggestion box, I don't know if you guys can have our suggestion box in the office, was to do a reunion. Someone proposed that, and now it's happening. So Student Leadership Board is putting it together. So get ready for kind of get together. Trio Day. We're in February, in case you're lost. ASU Trio Day. This one.